Hey guys, so this is my Pagan Perspective response video to our question that came in from Elm, and they were asking about our views and opinion on what spirit and Akasha is to ourselves and how it affects our practice, and if we believe there is any directions, tools, or like beings that we associate with spirit as well. And then the second part to the question was, how do we view spirit in relation to the 5 points on the pentacle? So, might as well start with spirit itself. For me, is when you're casting circle, you have your 4 elements, so earth, air, fire, and water. And then spirit is essentially like the mortar that kind of brings it all together. In relation to the other 4 elements, I find that air, earth, water, and fire are the building blocks, and that's what makes up our body, ourselves. So water being the blood, earth being the bones and the flesh, air being the breath that we require to breathe, and fire being the like electrical signals that go through the body. And then with those 4 together, spirit is what brings the animation in our life, which is what brings our body to be able to move, to function, to have thoughts, to make us more than just a pile of bones, flesh, and blood, essentially. Spirit for me is animation. It's what gives life to something. So essentially for me, spirit is life. And in relation to where do we find a direction for it, I think it's been mentioned a few times, center is the space for it, but for me personally, it is center in myself, and it is myself as being a representation of spirit. But I am also a representation of the 4 elements as well, so it's that combination all between there, and we do have given the 4 elements direction, so depending on what hemisphere you work in, for myself personally, so like air is east, fire for us is north, but it can also, I believe in the northern hemisphere, fire is south. We have west as water, and then also earth is south here, but earth is in north in the northern hemisphere. Just relation to polar caps and that. But for me, spirit is everywhere, and spirit is in everything. Everything that has life, that grows, that changes, has spirit to it. And it's that personal essence of life in that. In relation to any tools, I think just whatever you feel like speaks through you or speaks for you, or just even any aspects of yourself can represent spirit. So maybe just words you write can be a form of spirit. Anything you create can be seen as a expression of your spirit, of that energy and life force that's within you. In relation to spirit and the other points on the pentacle, I can't remember exactly where I learnt it before, but I think Annie also mentioned something about it, that with the pentacle, if you look at it with the 5 points, with the point upmost, for me it is spirituality over man-made desires. So the things that bind us here, so possessions, the physical form as well, buildings, homes, money, all those sort of aspects, and then it's putting spirituality above that. So it's kind of, for me, it's that entrance into kind of our practices and our beliefs. So moving into that is understanding and knowing what is physical here, what is solid, what is a truth. So like the camera I'm talking to now, my phone that's here, things that are solid we know, and they are. And then it's that quest to connect to the spiritual, the unseen forces that move us, that talk to us, that inspire us, and that is all the realm of spirit. And it's also can be everything that is above us. It's that higher thought, higher intellect. It's the Akashic records, which is meant to have spiritual information, all the knowledge that is collected through ages, and all knowledge that has come before, and that all the knowledge to go ahead of us as well, future knowledges that we can connect to, and it's that sort of information. But then if you were to flip the pentacle around with the upmost point facing downwards, I was thinking about it before, it very much reminds me of, if you look in the tarot, the Hanged Man, or just even the story of Odin, where he gave up his physical form to receive the base primal information, the wealth of all the knowledge that comes from beneath as well. So you have your like upper high realm information that you receive with your like the pentacle with the star, the point at the top, and then also there's the base knowledge that you receive from underneath you from like the underworld, that primal instinct, that intuition and insight. And it's understanding with that sometimes you need to make sacrifices to receive that information, and that information is by giving up the form, the physical form, so you can connect to that. Whereas connecting to the upper, like you have your upper realm, you have your lower realm, and our body, like the four elements of earth, air, fire, and water sit in that middle realm for me, and spirit is above and below that. And then once you connect it all within the pentacle, you have the 5 points with spirit, earth, air, fire, and water. And then you have that center, the 5-sided pentagon. I couldn't think of the word then, but you have the pentagon in the center, which is our body. It's the combination of all of that. And it's that once you, like from a math side, if you were to combine all the points and fold them into the center, they reach that pinnacle point. Nothing is worth more value than either. All of them are equal, and they all form focus. And once you've created that shape, you have like the cone of power, and it gives it point and direction. And that's what we seek in our lives. We seek direction, we seek knowledge and wisdom, and through understanding the physical form, we can connect to spirit, and through making sacrifices of the physical form, we can connect to spirit again, but receiving different wisdom from both sides, because spirit brings their own aspect with it. And they're definitely as important as each other element, and it's just finding that equality and balance between all of them, and moving beyond what is just physically formed to what is spiritual, ethereal, anything that can be beyond words and description, but can be felt and can be experienced. I think I've rambled on enough for it. I hope it's helped with some of the information. So I do see spirit personally as a valid part of everything. It was mentioned people's divine connections with spirit. I think if you connect with the spirit in yourself and the divine within yourself, then you are connected, and that's your expression there. So, but I do see them as separate aspects. We are all divine, but we are also beings of the 5 elements, and of spirit, of air, earth, fire, and water. And it's that connection beyond that. So I hope this helps, and much love and blessings. Blessed be.